This is Ecclesiasticus 34:6. If they be not sent from the Most High Yahweh in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them, for dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab. I'm Juan back at you with another lesson. All right, and going into the title, A Dream of Last Night. All right, which I'm gonna share a little dream I had. All right, Shalom Malak Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. All right, and it's crazy because I should have, when I was dreaming it, I was saying to myself, get up and record it. But lately I've been having dreams and I'm able to go back into them. I wake up and then I could go back into them, and I usually leave off where I was at. All right. But you know, I didn't get to record this one, but I remember most of it. All right. But last night I was having a dream. And as a matter of fact, before I continue on, let me finish reading this again. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus 34:6. If they be not sent from the Most High Yahweh in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them, for dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. All right. So if a dream doesn't come according to prophecy, all right, most of these dreams are just dreams that you're dreaming. All right. And dreams have deceived many, because a lot of people put their hopes and their trust in dreams. You know, they see something in their dreams and they just think that it's something that, you know, something they have to do or something they have to follow. Okay. And, you know, you could have demons come and mess with you in your dreams, you know. So, you know, when you're not spiritually in tune with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you're not able to discern when a dream is actually telling you something and when it's not, you see. But if they come in the form of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, meaning through prophecy, all right, then those dreams is something that you take heed to. You know, the Lord could be trying to speak to you through something, you know, through a dream. He's trying to tell you, give you a warning of something, you know, or maybe warning someone else. Okay. So you have to know you have to be able to discern these things when you have them. All right. So basically last night, all right, I was dreaming, and it was the weirdest thing, because I was dreaming of another brother, which I ain't even gonna mention in the video. All right. But you know, I was dreaming with another brother in it. All right. And basically he was not from here. He was from another country. Okay. I will say this. He was from London. All right. But what's weird was that me and him were prophesying together. All right. So that already had me kind of thrown off. Like, why am I even around this brother right now? So it can either be a dream that's a warning to him, or a dream that's a warning to me. All right. Or I also looked at it through the spirit, like we're in a time where Trump is trying to, you know, deport, you know, people to different countries to make them serve time. Okay. So it may well be that, hey, maybe it was something that I ended up being taken to another country. All right. And in this other country, this is how I linked up with this brother to be able to preach the word. Okay. But we were preaching on a corner, and I believe it was around the building, and it was I don't know if it was a street or if it was an alley. It was one of the two. But we were preaching, and some lady had came by the camp as we were preaching, and she had said something. All right. And then basically we kept preaching the word, like trying to brush her off, like paying no mind to what she said. But she was saying something. And then she goes around the corner and she leaves. So I actually kind of followed to see if she completely left, to see if she would come back. And as I left to see her go back, to see if she disappeared or kept going, there was a group of men that were coming. It was like 30 deep. All right. And they were all coming with weapons. All right. And they had these looks in their faces, like really they had there's some racist faces, you know what I'm saying? And they started coming, and I come back towards the brother, and I'm like, yo, I mentioned the brother's name. I'm like, bro, we gotta go. You see? And he's like in the middle of preaching, he's not understanding what's going on. I said, bro, we gotta go. And by the time I told him and we start, pretty much ready to go, it was already too late because these people were around the corner. And as they were around the corner, all right, I was already kind of on the go, and he was still, trying to get on the go. And the first thing I did was drop on my knees, and I started praying, YAHAWAH'S, YAHAWAH'S, Baba Kushal, have mercy. Please, Baba Kushal, have mercy. And as I see the people coming, all right, the brother starts running. Now we're both hauling ass, and we're running away from the scene. And as we're running away, all right, I can't remember if it was, I don't think it was the same girl, but it was a girl. All right. Now, I don't know how she ended up completely doing this. I think if I remember correctly, it was something with a technology that she somehow got the brother tripped up, and the brother ended up falling. And next thing you know, and it could have been through technology, because it didn't make no sense that this woman just came and did some type of fighting to stop this brother, because ain't no woman gonna be stronger than a man. All right, so I believe it was something through like a technology, and then the brother fell and he got hemmed up, and he ended up getting tied up, being arrested, basically put in handcuffs. All right. And see, this is something that very well we're going to be going through in these last days. All right. Technology. OK, Esau got all types of crazy ass devices prepared for the elect. All right. This is why he invests his money and takes our tax dollars to create these different types of weapons. All right. And they're made not for war. All right. They're not made to go against people in war. They're really created to go after the men of the Lord, because the men of the Lord are going to have spiritual power in these last days, So when the brother got tripped up, somehow the brother got handcuffs on him, and it actually pissed me off somehow. And I started to pray to YAHAWAH'S. Next thing you know, I'm actually fighting this woman. It was weird as hell. That's what kept throwing me off, the woman. All right. Now, I don't know if this woman was a robot. I don't know if this woman was just a brolic ass fighter woman, but all I know is that I ended up grabbing this woman and body slamming her ass like 4 times. And somehow I ended up taking the keys that she had and unlocked the brother and got him out the handcuffs, and we ended up taking off, you see? So, and that's when I kind of just woke up out of the dream. And then, I went to the bathroom, and as I went to the bathroom, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, please, I had to really go to the bathroom. So I kept saying to myself, like, please let me go back to sleep and pick up from where I'm at, so it can be clear to me what the vision was about. But by the time I went back to sleep, I went to sleep, but it never came back to me. I ended up going into a different dream. All right. So it was still weird that I can't put it together. I can't figure it out what this woman was, but the more I think about it now, and the more, I keep trying to put my mind and thoughts to it, it might very well have been something that was a form of technology. Okay, might have been a robot. All right, it could have just been a cyborg type bitch. Remember, Esau has his little devices that he's gonna bring out in these last days. But the fact that I even body slammed this damn woman like 3-4 times to get the keys to unlock the brother was already wild. All right, and that just shows that we're gonna have spiritual powers. All right, and that's what makes me think more that it was an actual some type of cyborg, some type of machine, because again, ain't no woman gonna be stronger than a man, especially women being stronger than a man of the Lord. All right, the woman is the weaker link at the end of the day. So we are gonna be able to when it comes to men and cyborgs and things like that, you know, machines that are going to be used in these last days. Men are going to be strong enough, men of the Lord are going to be strong enough to handle these things, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So, you know, it was something that was, you know, in my mind for a while. It's been bothering me all day, you know, and I was debating if I should actually make a video on it or not, you know, because I didn't have the full, you know, confirmation of what it was. All right. But hey, you know, who knows? Maybe Yahweh Bashem Yahushua brings me back to that dream tonight, you know, or shows me something else through the spirit, you know, what it meant. You know, I shared it with the brother, you know, and let him know about it, you know. And it was funny because he was telling me that I believe when I was talking to him, he was saying something about the part where he got hemmed up and it was through some type of technology, you know, and he agreed with that, you know, saying that, you know, I think he said that he had a dream not too long ago about him, you know, being hemmed up by some type of technology. Okay. So, you know, the fact that the Lord showed me that, you know, it might be very well a warning, you know, to him on his side to, you know, be circumspect, or like I said, is a warning to me on my side, you know, to be circumspect on my side and watch, because we are in perilous times, man. Okay. We have to be circumspect, man. This devil's really ready to roll out devices on the men of the Lord. All right. Because he's scared. All right. He knows that power is going to be given onto us. Okay. And he knows that the Lord is going to be with us, man. The Lord said greater powers. All right. Let's grab that real quick. All right. Salakia. This is John. Hold on real quick. It's loading up. This is John. This is, where's that? 14. All right. I believe it's, yeah, 14 and 12. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go on to my Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. You see? So, you know, the Lord was doing miracles in those last days, man, and we're going to be able to do greater works than Yahweh Bashem Yahushua did, you see? And these things are going to come upon us, man. Definitely the part where you had 30 people coming on the side, you know, from around the building. All right, that's persecution right there. You see, and that's one of the main things that I've been having lately with dreams. You know, I did a couple videos on them a couple weeks back. All right. You know, persecution has been, you know, something that the Lord's been showing me in my dreams. And I'm not one to dream like that. I don't ever have dreams like that. So that's why I haven't had full dreams, you know, but I'm getting like bits and pieces of dreams here and there. You know, maybe it might be something I have to fast on, you know what I'm saying? Because when you do fast, the Lord show you dreams, you know, heavy dreams. All right. But I remember the last dream that I had after I fasted, it was definitely one of me being persecuted and taken to a court system. You know, something had happened in like a Walmart in the store, and I ended up being locked up. And then when I got taken to the court before judges, all right, all of a sudden the judges were reading all these different types of what do you call it? What do you call them? Damn, I can't get it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Different types of crimes, basically, that I had committed. And I'm looking at them like, what you talking about? Like, I'm not even here for that. You know what I'm saying? So they are going to be, as the scriptures say, he's going to be the accuser of thy brethren. All right. They're going to persecute you. All right. And they're going to say all manner of evil and things falsely of you, you know? So, you know, they're going to try to, you know, make lies upon us. They're going to try to say that we did this crime, that crime. You're going to have AI that's going to be able to, you know, basically, they're going to use AI to try to make us look like we were doing certain things, you know, when we actually wasn't, you know. So the fact that I seen them 30 people coming around the bend, all right, that's definitely something that, you know, makes me be even more circumspect, you know, these last days, because the Lord might be letting me know that, hey, it's going to be a time where I have to haul ass on people, you know, people going to come after me, you know, and we know that this is going to happen because the men of the Lord are going to be searched for, man, as the scriptures say. All right, and let's grab that real quick. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, right? Let me grab that. This is Ecclesiasticus 16, and I mean second Ezra 16, Salakia. And let's take it from 70, and it says, for there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahawashi. You see, an insurrection. All right, let's grab the word for insurrection. All right, insurrection. All right, definition of insurrection is a violent uprising against an authority or government. All right, so in this case, all right, they're going to, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahawashi. So it's going to be a violent uprising, all right, onto the men of the Lord. All right, so that means you're going to have people coming in groups looking for the men of the Lord. Okay, people looking to kill them. They're going to be giving out you know, rewards, man. Just like you see these devils, you know, giving out rewards for them to capture, you know, Jake right now and bring him to the ice cream agents and bring him to these FEMA camps. It's the same thing when the time gets real hectic. All right, that all hell's breaking loose. The main ones that's going to be on wanted posters or maybe wanted on the television. You know, they're going to show pictures of certain brothers. You know, it's going to be the men of the Lord, man. There's going to be a great insurrection and violent uprising of looking for people that are the men of the Lord. I remember about 2 years back, about 2-3 years back, you know, they were already saying, if you know anybody that speaks this truth, that if you're a part of their family, to report them, you know. So that's going to intensify in these last days, man. They're going to have people literally, okay, literally reporting us, your own family. That's why the scriptures tell you that. And let's grab that Luke 21, okay, and Luke 21 and where we at, 15, and it says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries, all right, shall not be able to gainsay nor resist, and ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. You see, so you know you're gonna have your own people turn against you, man. Your own people gonna turn you in those last days, all right, because the Lord gonna put a certain spirit on them, man. These people gonna be mad when they see the things that the prophets are speaking of. All right, they're gonna literally be in a certain spirit that they're gonna hate you even more because you spoke these things into existence. We were prophesying these people's death. You know, here it is that we're on the highways and hedges and we're telling 2/3 that they're gonna be cut off and die. So how much more when the time comes that they tell you to report a prophet, you know, report someone that has the Bible. All right, and here it is, you're speaking these things into existence. What makes you think they're not gonna hate you? That's why the scriptures say that your own foes will be them of your household, man. You know, the Lord might put the spirit on your wife, you know, your best close brother right next to you, your best friend that you grew up with of 20 years that you never thought would, you know, turn his back on you. You see, that's what's going to happen in these last days, man. And that's why, you know, even though sometimes we'll have like a little dream and there's not much info in it, there's something in it that's meat. You know, you got to take the meat, chew the meat, and spit out the bones on it, you know. So that little dream that I had, you know, definitely persecution with the 30 people coming at us, you know. Now, the part where the brother getting tripped up, You know, that part I'm still baffled on, and I'm still trying to figure it out and put it together. And like I said, Lord willing, the Lord, you know, through the Spirit gives me more of what that really meant through the Spirit. All right. But I tell you what, it definitely means that technology is going to be around to hem us up. You know, the fact that he got tripped up, you know, and he was able to get, you know, put in handcuffs by a woman. All right. Which I don't know yet if that's a whole full woman, was it a robot, cyborg, whatever it was still like, damn, brother went down on some other shit, you know. And that's going to be, they're going to roll out technology in these last days, man. They have to, okay? Because they know that the men of the Lord have YAHAWAH'S, Yahweh behind them, you see. As a matter of fact, Esau's mentality, right, is, this is Wisdom of Solomon 2, all right? Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 17. It says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. You see, so Esau has that mentality. All right, well, these men claim to be the men of the Lord. These men are, you know, are claiming that the Lord is going to protect them and help them. Well, let us see if them sayings be true. You see, that's how prideful Esau is, that he can even have that type of spirit to tempt the Lord, because the scriptures say, thou shalt not tempt the Lord, man. And see, something that Esau does is he constantly tempts the Lord on a daily basis, man. You know, as a matter of fact, Esau, let me grab that. That's in Ecclesiasticus. All right. He likes to play with fire. Okay. He loves danger, right? So Ecclesiasticus 3:26 says, a stubborn heart, a stubborn heart, sure evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. See, this is why this devil gonna perish, man, because Esau loves to play with fire. Esau loves to play with danger. Esau loves to tempt the Lord. So by you tempting the Lord, man, you're gonna end up perishing out of the way for that, man. Okay, because the Lord is not to be tempted. You see, the Lord don't like when you mock him like that. See, the Lord is what mocks you. You see, you reap what you sow. So, you know, the Lord is not to be mocked. Okay, let's grab that. That's, I believe, Galatians 6 and 7. All right. The Lord is not to be mocked. Okay. Galatians 6 and 7, I believe it is. Yep. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You see? So, you know, again, Esau likes to mock the Lord, all right, in so many different ways, all right? And, you know, you're going to be caught with the men of the Lord in your hands, man. You know, the Lord said not to touch the apple of his eye, okay? So by you, you know, even trying to put hands on us, you know, and trying to destroy us and find ways to get at us, all right, see, that's what's going to piss the Heavenly Father off, man. And that's why when the Lord comes, he's just going to totally destroy you, man. He's only going to allow you so much, all right? But, you know, when the time comes to really destroy you, that's why the Lord going to disintegrate you off the planet Earth, man, never to be to be heard of ever again, you see? Because the Lord ain't down with that, man. You see? If the Lord ain't spare us, all right, the men of the Lord, all right, and the 2/3, you know, what makes you think he gonna spare you, who he hates the most, you know, in this whole entire world? As the scriptures say, Esau have I hated, all right, and Jacob have I loved, all right. So how much more, all right? Again, he didn't spare the angels, all right, spare angels, spared not. That's what it was. Spared not. This is, yep. This is 2 Peter 2 and take it from 3. It says, 4, it says, for if Yahweh spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. You see? So, you know, if the Lord didn't spare us, all right, again, why would he spare you? You know? So that's why you don't mock the Heavenly Father, man. All right. And like I said, in that day, all right, he's going to be caught with us in his hands, man. All right. And the scriptures say, if a man stealeth a man, all right, was that Exodus, I believe it is Exodus 21, I want to say 21 and 10, or 10 and 21. Let's try 10 and 21 first. No, it's not 10 and 21. Exodus 21 and 10. No, it's not it. Let me grab it like this. Stealeth a man. Exodus 21 and 16. I was in the right chapter. This is, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. You see? So when the time comes, all right, we are going to be in the hands of the Lord, all right, because of that great persecution. You see? So that's why Esau is going to end up being put to death eventually, you know? And the ones that do make it on this side, all right, you're only going to make it because you're going to be the fruits, the first fruits of slavery, you see? So eventually the Lord's going to get you. You're going to start off as the first fruits of slavery, but you're going to be end up being put to death after your 1,000 years of slavery, man, and never to be existing ever again. You know, you never going to hear of an Edomite ever, you know? So, you know, that's something that I just wanted to share at the end of the day. You know, these things are coming to us, all right? Persecution, you know, technology to try to capture us and trip us up, you know, spiritual power, you know, because after that, after I seen the brother get hemmed up, you know, something had to have me get into spiritual power to body slam somebody 3-4 times, you know what I'm saying? And supposedly it was a woman at that. So, you know, it still hasn't come quite clear to what exactly what it was, you know, but this is what's coming, man. And we have to, you know, pray upon these things, that the Lord be there with us in those times of trouble, which, you know, we know that the Lord gonna be with us because the Lord know how to deliver the godly out of temptations, man, whether it be the hour of temptation, whether it be, you know, us being, you know, in a time of trouble where, you know, Esau using technology, or, you know, we have to, you know, go against a whole bunch of people that's coming after us. All right. The Lord's going to give us spiritual power, man. He said that, you know, you shall put 10,000 to flight, you know, 1,000 shall drop by thy side, man. You know, that's going to be all spiritual power. You see, the Lord showed you so many accounts in the Bible that men had spiritual power. You know, we're going to be able to, you know, was it sparks among the stubble? You know, you're going to be able to run, you know, faster than Flash. You see, you're not going to be able to be weary in those days, man. You're going to be able to jump through jump over a high wall, you know, because the Lord going to give you hinds feet, as the scriptures said, you know, about David. All right. He's going to give you hands to war and be able to, you know, break steel with your hands, man. Okay, so that's what's coming to the men of the Lord in these last days, man. And Lord willing, the Lord be with us, you know, all the way to the end, and give us and grant us those things, you know, as long as you believe. You know, make sure that you don't come to the Lord wavering. All right, let me grab that. That's Mark. And whatever you shall ask in my name, KJV. That's not the one I wanted. You know, you have to believe, okay, that you're going to be given those things. Believe and it shall be given to you, KJV, Mark.
According to that's what I want.
This is Mark 11:24, and it says, therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when you pray, believe that you receive them and ye shall have them. You see, and that's something that I had, you know, when those men came around the corner. All right, that's the first thing I did. I definitely remember that. I dropped right on my knees and I literally started yelling the name of the Lord to put a stop to them, you know, and the brother was able to get away, you know. So the prayer at that moment got us away, but you know, technology, I guess, tripped them up, you know what I'm saying? But then look, the Lord still granted, you know, spiritual power, you know, to be able to get the brother out of it, you know. So, you know, you have to remember, you pray for these things and you got to believe, okay? It says, believe that you receive them and ye shall have them, okay? As a matter of fact, let me grab, this is James 1. James 1 and 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord YAHAWAH'S. All right. But you can't waver, man. All right. Look what happened to Peter when the Lord was walking on water, right? And he told him to come and walk on the water. All right. He began to walk on the water, but then the moment he lost faith, he doubted. All right. He ended up going into the water. You see? So, you know, these are accounts, you know, as the scriptures say, everything written aforetime is written for your learning. So it goes to show you that you can be in the start of doing something. All right. But the moment you lose faith or you put doubt into your mind, it's not going to work. Why? Because you came in faith wavering. All right. As a matter of fact, that's spiritual, because I was just watching The Matrix and that's the part I just left off on. It was literally when he was jumping from the top of the building, trying to jump to the other side of the building. He had just seen Morpheus jump, all right? And then he was trying to, you know, focus in his mind, said, all right, free your mind, free your mind. You know, basically what he was trying to say was believe, all right? Because that whole movie is about YAHAWAH'S, all right? But, you know, he was trying to believe it, and he jumped, he kept going, but the moment he looked down, that meant what? That he doubted, you see? So once he doubted, that's when he began to fall. You see, so it's the same with us. When we go and ask for something of the Lord, especially when it comes to something like spiritual power, all right, we're going to have to do it in not wavering, man. We have to do it in just complete faith, believing that the Lord's going to give us that no matter what. All right. It might not be given to you right there at that moment, but you still have to keep the faith that when the Lord sees you fit for you to get it, he's going to give it to you. All right. Remember, the Lord knows what we want, what we desire. All right, so the Lord is going to give it to you when he sees fit for it. He knows exactly when you need it the most. The Lord, you know, we all have testimonies that the Lord has come through for us at the times that we needed him the most. And sometimes he don't answer our prayers right then and there, man. But keeping the faith, all right, when that time comes that you truly need him and you really need it the most, the Lord is always on time. The Lord is always there to show you that he's with you. And that's when you give that praise onto Yahweh B'Shem YAHAWAH'S on another level, man. You know, so, you know, I'll leave it at that through the spirit, you know, Lord willing. All right, that the Lord was edifying. As a matter of fact, there go the brother right there. Brother Daniel, Shalom, Malak, Yahweh B'Shem YAHAWAH'S Barakatah. Yeah, definitely. You know, as a matter of fact, the brother's on there now. You know, I didn't mention no names. All right, but the brother right here is the brother that I was having a dream of. You know, so it's a beautiful thing, man, to be able to, you know, experience that and try to figure out what it really means, you know. But regardless, you know, all we could do is throw prayers in. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna continue to throw prayers for the brother, throw prayers, you know, that the Lord protect me, you know, and whatever it meant, you know, may the Lord just be with us in those days, man. because that's what we're going to need. We're going to need Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to intervene and lift up that standard, all right, when that time comes. You know what I'm saying? We need the Lord on a whole nother level, man, because we're not going to be able to make it up out of here without the name of the Lord, man. These devils is going to be too strong in their technology. They're going to be too strong in their blessing, you know, and the Lord is allowing him to be stronger than he's ever been in his blessing. All right, because that's the end of this devil's this damn demon's world, man. So, you know, he has to allow him to end it with a big bang, you know, but the Lord was going to give him the biggest bang of all time, you see, and he's going to be confounded in those last days by the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you see, because you wanted to tempt the Lord. You see, the Lord is going to be able to, you know, show you what the works of the Lord is, man. The works that you done forgot about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Because see, they read these scriptures, so they know what time it is, man. But see, they just have that proudful spirit and delusion that they think that they're not going to be touched. And that's why the Lord is going to remind you of who's the true power, the creator of all things, man. All right. And why he is named Al-Sadra. All right. Not his actual name, Salakia, but one of his titles. All right, being Al-Sadra, man. All right, terrible demon-like power. Okay, the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. All right, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right, which means Yahweh means he is, he exists, and Yahweh Shai means he is our salvation, our deliverer. All right, but one of the titles that were known, all right, especially in the time of Abraham, was Al-Sadra. Okay, terrible demon-like power, and the Lord's going to remind you why he is called the King of Terrors, man. So again, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, it says, because I've had some dreams of the persecution to come. That's right. Adawan Ratazaha, Adawan raised up to a standard for us in that day. That's right. I've been meditating on that dream all day. Yeah, man. Khan prayers. Yo, man, trust me, I've been thinking about it all day. I was debating if I should make a video on it because I didn't have the full confirmation on it. But like I said, I'm going to pray on it, and Lord willing, the Lord give me, you know, he might give me the rest of it, what it really mean later. You know, maybe not tonight, maybe not tomorrow, you know, but somewhere down the line, you know, I might have to fast on it. You know, like I said earlier in the video, when you fast, you know, the Lord give you dreams when you fast, man. That's the heaviest times, you know, that you get dreams, you know. But Lord willing, the Lord to reveal what it means, you know, and if not, then, you know, it was just something to pass by and we have to interpret it ourselves, you know, and we could pretty much see, you know, little points in it, you know, even though it wasn't, you know, a long dream, you know, the little parts in it, you know, we already know that it's persecution, you know, time of technology trying to get at us, you know, showing you the name, me dropping on my knees and calling on the name of the Lord, and me getting you out of that situation just shows you the power of the name, the power that the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has, man. Because what does the scripture say? The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous man runneth into it and is safe. You see? So, you know, there's so many ways you could go at it with just a little dream that didn't give you too much of a long, you know, picture in it, you know, just little things here and there through the spirit. We are, you know, we're able to judge things through the spirit so we can see exactly what it means, you know, through the spirit. So, you know, Lord willing, it was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the like-minded brothers. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith. And it's funny because it's what? 5 hours after me. So it's like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning over there. The fact that you up, that's the spirit. So I know it's been on your mind. I know it's been on your mind all day because you probably can't sleep. But hey, call Haloim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, may he protect you in your dreams, man. May he protect you and your household and all you brothers that have been on the comment board. All right, Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, keep us in the faith and keep us, you know, all the way to the end. And may we endure all the way to the end through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.